All right, everybody, welcome back to the OSHA subreddit, brought to you by our wonderful sponsors, the like button. Check it out down below the video, and also twitch.tv/Captain Sparkles. A lot of people say I look and sound a lot like that Captain Sparkles guy on YouTube, so I might as well promote his Twitch channel that you can find linked in the description. He even looks kind of similar to me and drinks water from the same glass. Ugh. That's kind of weird. Uncanny. Anyway, let's start off with number 19. This meets code, right? Yeah, it looks kind of like a seesaw staircase where you could just walk up to the top, or alternatively, you could stand on this side, someone else can pull the other side down and kind of elevate you and launch you up to the roof. It's just a much more exciting way to get to the top of the building. Really breaks up a mundane workday. I'm sure OSHA approves. That does seem a little bit nerve-wracking. There's reasons why a lot of surge protectors, actually, if you flip them over, they've got these little indentations that have like a wide part on the top, and then it gets a little narrower. And the reason that they exist is so you can put a screw into whatever they're on, and then you can slide them over the screw, and they kind of stay in place. It's this really convenient feature so that you don't have to, I don't know, drill into live wires with a metal screw. The good old forklift hammer technique. Oh my god, are they bashing down the pole with the... See, what they need to do is they need to take a page out of the book of a GIF that I saw recently where it was like 4 guys, each with a sledgehammer, all in this beautifully synchronized wave. Well, I guess not synchronized, the opposite of that. It's like they're doing a wave with the sledgehammers where they'd hit, and then the next person's hit would follow right after the first person's got out of the way, and it was just... Oh, they were doing this beautiful circular wave hammer to get something into the ground, and they need to do that here. Yes, it might require a few elevated platforms, but you can do this. Although I bet the forklift is pretty efficient. That looks expensive. Please don't tell me the entire row. Okie dokie. Well, I thought the entire roof was just gonna collapse, which would have been very bad. So at least nobody was hurt, but... Wow. So my assumption is that whatever they had underneath the rebar that was supposed to hold everything up was not properly secured, didn't hold it up, and everything just fell through. Whew, God. At least the rebar stayed intact. Otherwise, oh my God. Imagine that immediate just heart-sinking feeling once you feel it start to buckle and you're like, oh, I'm going down with this, aren't I? This is it. This is the end of the road. I have so much respect for concrete pouring after even just having the little bit of like my driveway redone, and then also seeing the construction project, them pouring the foundation of a couple houses that are being built next door to mine. And it just seems like such a crazy process. Like, how do they get it? I don't know. I still don't understand, even after watching them doing it, like spraying concrete onto the vertical wall and having it stay there. It stays there. It doesn't just run down. They spray it at the bottom, and then I guess it solidifies a little bit, and then they do a little more above that and above that. And it just, So, you know, you can do it on a vertical surface. So they really messed up. Seems legit to me. Power is on. Who are you? Who are so wise in the ways of science? Is that just like exposed right there? Is that thing, if you touch that little hook thing, will you get electrocuted? Is it just like these are the ends of the insulation and now there's just exposed cables over there? So that doesn't, it seems like it'd be easier to shut off the power, insulate the cables, and then, you know, rather than just be like, I don't want to shut it off. I'm just going to tape some paper on. It'll be fine. Easy Rider 2.0. Honestly, this seems fantastic, and I have no problems here. Jet propulsion. This is the future. Elon Musk is putting it in the new Tesla Roadster, apparently. I still don't understand how that's going to work. But, you know, if you can put jet propulsion on a DIY scooter... This will really get you around quicker. You'll be moving so many more pallets. You might not be able to actually put any new pallets onto your pallet mover, but why is there a freaking ant on my desk? You're not supposed to be here. God dang it. I swear, it's getting rainy, and the ants are not supposed to be here anymore. I've seen a couple on my toilet, now there's one on my desk. It's time to stop. Unreal. Anyway, can't stick any more pallets on your pallet mover, but at least you can have fun with it. Safety suggestions are overrated. I'm sure that everyone who has ever experienced one of these, which I have not, has always wondered, what happens if you go inside? Could I just go inside and get spun around? I've wondered if it would work with a washing machine, but the washing machine's a little bit small. This is just a little bit bigger. I don't really want to go all the way, and that's a little too much commitment, so maybe I can just hang out, and we'll see if it can spin me around. You know, concrete's pretty heavy. I bet that I'm pretty light in comparison to the normal amount of weight that thing has to spin around. It just seems like nausea. Chips are on fire under the machine. No one even cares. Is it a chip-making machine? What kind of chips? Are these edible chips? Are these some other kind of chip? Just a chip of something, but it's on fire. So are chips leaking out of the machine and they're on fire? You seem to care. So at least there's that, unless you took a picture, brought it to somebody's attention, and they're just like, it doesn't really matter. It happens every now and again. You know, it's all concrete on the floor. It's not very flammable. Posted on the walk-in freezer door at work. All you can eat ice cream at the small cost of your life. Caution, slippery floor. Warning, inner handle broken. Do not shut the door with anyone inside. AOL team. America Online. Dial-up noises. Commence. Totes need to be out of the way and organized by time, always. It's kind of a significant, it's a slippery floor, so you can enter it thinking that there's something you can just within your grasp reach. You slip on the floor, hit your head, the door shuts on you, you're stuck in there unconscious, going into a state of being cryogenically frozen, and no one has any idea about it. Maybe you should fix that. Or just, I don't know, add some thing to the door that you can just, it's mounted to the door and you can stick it in to prevent it from closing all the way if you're inside it. Pray for me. That seems scary. Is it just basically like a saw blade? I don't know if it's a saw blade. Maybe it's for cutting tile or something, but it just has no protection on it. You know what? Oh my God, dude. So I cut tile with my dad a few times when I was much younger, and he had to do some DIY tile work around the house. And he has a tile saw, and a tile saw is like this, it's a diamond blade, and it's water cooled. So you put the hose into an attachment on the saw, and so it drips water onto the blade as you're cutting. You can actually touch the blade, and it doesn't cut you. And he would do it. He'd be like, "Oh yeah, you can touch the thing, and you're fine." And I'd be like, no. This can cut through tile? This can cut through tile, but you can touch it with your hand? What? So maybe it's like this, except minus the whole water cooling part, which I don't know how much, that probably had something to do with why it didn't cut your hand, because it reduced the friction or something, but that freaked me out so much. Staying in a motel for a few days, most people take the free soap and tea bags. Some crackhead took the smoke alarm. Huh. It's an interesting thing to steal. I mean, okay, maybe they're, smoke detector ran out of battery back home. They're like, I gotta replace it somehow. This seems like an easy one. Also, can I just say, this is so weird, but the smoke detectors in my house committed Sudoku all within like a few hours of each other. It's bizarre. And, oh God, it was so frustrating because they emit this ear-piercing, I no longer function sound, and it's not a dead battery sound. It's an, I'm done. I've given up on life and that's it, but I have to let you know about it. And they're hardwired in, that's the thing. They have a planned obsolescence. It's ridiculous, but because they're hardwired in, and I don't wanna have to go and remount the whole installation and rewire, I'm forced to buy the same smoke detector to replace the thing. So in another 6-7 years, they're all gonna commit Sudoku within another hour of each other again. It was just one beep went off and I'm like, okay, this is really frustrating. I'll grab the ladder and then I go up and I take the thing off and then I have to remove the backup battery from inside so it'll shut the frick up. 30 minutes later, another one, I'm like, what? How is another one happening? And then another one! Back in the day, we knew not to touch stuff. I have no idea what this is other than it has to do with electricity and something? Is this like it directs electricity to some circuit, whatever that this is on, and if you happen to touch it, you unalive? I have no idea, but that's what I assume. We'll keep it in just so if you understand what's going on here, then yeah, it just looks like it's telling you what floor the elevator is on, and this will stop the elevator. Dangerous at any speed. I hate it so much. This could be on the Idiots in Cars subreddit. Oh, God. I hate it so much. I'm just imagining driving behind the thing and at no fault of my own, just a brick flies off of the car in front of me and just goes straight into my windshield, or I guess the worst case scenario, through the windshield into me. Best case scenario, it just flies into the front of the car and destroys it. Please, for the love of God, do not do this. If you are driving with a load of crap like this on your truck, ensure that you have some kind of like walling on it. You can't just drive with it out in the open. Oh my God. They wouldn't listen, just some trench work. It's probably fine, right? You know, if you've got this thing's I guess one side could fall in. Probably both sides aren't gonna fall in at the same time. You might be slightly crushed when that happens, but hey, at the same time, this gives you a really convenient angle to see what you're doing if you need to lift anything in with the digger thing. External guest toilet. What do you actually do on high-rise constructions? Is there only just porta potties on the bottom floor, and if you need to go to the bathroom, you just like take the elevator all the way back down in order to go? Or do they like crane up some porta potties to various floors here and there? Do they have one on every floor? I'm sure there's some like protocol for workplace standards that you have to have a porta potty every X amount of distance or X number of floors or something for worker comfort. So why not do this? This is also really weird. Like, what's it hanging off of? Does this building have a built-in pulley system in order to bring things in through the windows? Is that a thing? You always, like, in cartoons and stuff, you'd see a crane hoisting a piano into an apartment or something, and then obviously it would drop and fall, and you get the piano being crushed sound. Is that actually what this is? Is like a pulley just so you can do that? Because that's kind of interesting. What do you guys think about my client's outdoor 230 volt wall lights? Why did you put it inside of a jar? But it seemed like you could just not put it inside of the jar. Where should I collect this rainwater? I know, around my light bulb, so I'll always be able to see how much there is, even if it's dark out. Huh. Hopefully it's plugged into a GFCI outlet, and then it's fine. It'll just cut out when things go bad, and that's what they're there for. Just seems like a strange choice. Thanks for the tip. Please do not turn off the light switch. It also operates the elevator. It's like a worse version of places that are designed that have the light switches on the walls when you enter a room. One of them is the room lights. One of them is like the only outlet in the room. And yes, it's meant so that you can plug a lantern into it. But generally in this day and age, you're gonna plug a computer into it. So you have to like cover up the light switch or tape it so that no one accidentally clicks it and shuts off your computer while you're working. Can we do this differently? If you're gonna have a dedicated light switch on the wall for an outlet, can we just move it to another place so it's on its own? I worked with these knobs for a month. It wasn't for me. I thought you were talking about doorknobs at first, and I was very confused. I was like looking around, I was like, I kind of see a doorknob over there. What's wrong with it? Oh, you're calling your coworkers knobs. It looks like the man on the floor has already been KO'd. He got hit by a spark. He's rolling on the ground, writhing in pain. Meanwhile, this man's is still at it. He's like, just a couple seconds longer. Just bear with me here. Eyes, don't fail me now. I live by this. When you just have to sit down and admire how badly you forked up. Yeah, that's probably not going to be the easiest thing to write back over. But I guess if you just got a car and pulleyed it, you'd probably be fine. I don't know how heavy those are. They're probably pretty heavy. Maybe it wouldn't go super well. Oops. How do you do that? How do you actually tip one of those over on like a perfectly flat surface? That is kind of impressive, actually. I'm glad no one was hurt, at least. Well, that's it for the last month of OSHA. Hopefully you've enjoyed. Make sure to like if you like. Check out the playlist if you want to catch more of the subreddit. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already. Hit the bell even if you are. Also, twitch.tv/CaptainSparkles for great quality video game live stream content. And if you want to catch the last OSHA video, put it right up here. You can click on over to it, or the latest Marin music upload down below it. Cool. End screens. They're great. See you next time.